press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello everyone, welcome to social science class. Today we are going to discuss, in the last class we have discussed the British East India Company. When was it started? It was started in the year of 1600. The permission which was given by the Queen of Elizabeth in England. They arrived to India for doing the business in India. During this time, we have discussed in the last class mercantile company. Let us continue in the last class. The Royal Charter, page number 10. The Royal Charter is one of the right which was given by the Queen in the year of 1600. When did the English came to India? The English came to India. The English came to India first. Really, English came to India. The British, those who are British, the British, which is called as English, which included UK, which means Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. Those four union countries are called as UK. These are the UKs. These are the countries who came to India. The first, John Weldon Hall, 1599. 1599. The British, when did come to India? 1599. The East India Company, which was started in the year of 1600. However, could not prevent other European powers from entering the eastern markets. This is called as, from Africa, beside of Africa, from the east side, they are called as eastern sides. The English only, andre Englisharu ಅವರ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು ಬರೋದನ್ನು ತಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ದೋಸ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ಸ್ could not prevent other Europeans. You should know that those who are the other Europeans, which means the Portuguese already who had come to India, the Dutch already who had come to India, and the French would be come to India. Already Dutch bandidare, Portuguese bandidare, English bandidare, next French bandidare. Let us discuss one by one who are the Europeans who came to India. By this time, the first English ships sailed down the west coast of Africa. Here, this is UK. The first ships of UK, English ships sailed down the west coast of Africa. Here is the west coast of Africa. This is the west coast of Africa. Sailed down the west coast of Africa and round the, this is called Cape of Good Hope. Who coined this name? This name was coined by Bartholomew Dias. He coined, he kept this name, Bartholomew Dias, Cape of Storm, which means when he was discovering new sea route to India, Bartholomew Dias, while he was discovering the new sea route to India, there was a big storm. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಿಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಮ್ ಹೊಸ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಒಂದು ಬಿರುಗಾಳಿ ಬೀಸ್ತು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವನು ಇದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟ? ಕೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಟ. ಬಟ್ ಅವರ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಾರ್ಥೋಲೊಮ್ಯೂ ಡಯಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಗುಡ್ ಹೋಪ್. ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಭರವಸೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, this is one of the hope. That's why this name is Cape of Good Hope. It has to come, no, Cape of Good Hope. The English ships sailed on the west coast of Africa and next round the Cape of Good Hope. Round the Cape of Good Hope, around the Cape of Good Hope, which means the southern tip of Africa, and crossed the Indian Ocean. Finally, they entered India. The Porch already. Okay, this is the British who came to India. The first British in the year of 1599. They used a Red Dragon ship, which was led by John Wilden Hall. 1599. They sailed down the west coast of Africa, and they round the Cape of Good Hope and crossed the Indian Ocean. Finally entered the India in the year of 1600. December 31, the permission was given by Queen Elizabeth to trade in the eastern countries. Onwards, they were doing the business in India. The Portuguese already established their presence in eastern coast of India. What was the story of Portuguese? When did they come? The Portuguese 1498. And when did they leave from India? 1961. British, you know that when did India get freedom? In the year of 1947. That's why the British left from India 1947 year. Okay, who was the first European who came to India? The Portuguese, which was led by Vasco da Gama. Okay, Portuguese had already established their presence in the west coast of India, and had their base in Goa. In fact, it was Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, who had discovered this new sea route to India in 1498. Okay, with the encouragement of Emmanuel, the king of Lisbon city. Here is the Portugal country. The Spain, it is called as Portugal country. With the encouragement of his king, support of his king, avana raja yaragidda avaga Emmanuel. Before that, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರಾಜ ಯಾರು? Henry the Navigator. He supported all the sailors who want to discover new sea route to other part of world. ಯಾರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಿತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹೆನ್ರಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಹೆನ್ರಿ, Emmanuel who came to power, he encouraged to discover new sea route part of the world. Therefore, so that the Vasco da Gama, he wanted to discover new sea route to India. That's why he left the Lisbon city. When did Vasco da Gama leave Lisbon city? Vasco da Gama, July 1497. Finally, he left the Lisbon city, and next he touched the west coast of Africa, and finally he crossed the Cape of Good Hope. Finally, he entered the city of Calicut. Presently, it can be called as Calicut in the year of 1498. What were the question? What questions will be arised? Who was the first European who came to India? The Portuguese. When did they come to India? 1498. Okay. Who are the first Europeans who came to India? The first European was the Portuguese. When did they come to India? 1498. Okay. When did they leave from India? 1961. Therefore, they are the first who came to India and last leave from India. First ಗೆ ಬಂದರವರೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋದರವರೇ. Okay. This is complete story of Portuguese. Simple ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Portuguese 1498 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರು. They came here 1498. After the Vasco da Gama, he returned back his country 1498. Next, then he again came to India 1500. After the Vasco da Gama, in the year of 1501, Cabral who came to power 1505, he returned back his country. Next 1505, Francisco de Almeida, he was the first Governor General of Portuguese Empire in India. He came to India and implemented blue water policy. He was there in India 1505 to 1509 and he returned back to his country. Next 1509 to 1515, another important Governor General who came to India, his name Alfonso de Albuquerque. He was the famous governor of real founder of Portuguese Empire in India. And next afterwards, Alfonso de Albuquerque, one of the last competent Governor General of Portuguese Empire in India. After there was an incompetent Portuguese governor who came to India. Their power declined with the arrival of English in India. Okay, this is the Portuguese story. Who was the first European who came to India? Portuguese. When did they come to India? 1498. And next, their presence in the western coast of India and had their base in Goa. Here is the Goa in India. They made Goa as their capital city. How did they make? I told you in the beginning of class, the Portuguese governor Alfonso de Albuquerque, who came to India, 1510, the Karnataka, which was ruled by Krishnadevaraya. With helping of Krishnadevaraya, Alfonso de Albuquerque, with the helping of Krishnadevaraya, he conquered Goa city. By the defeating of Bijapur Sultan, and the Portuguese made Goa as their capital city. Finally, which was their capital city? The Portuguese capital city was Goa. The Portuguese capital city was Goa, and next Goa. After, it was Vasco da Gama, Portuguese explorer, who had discovered this new sea route in India 1498. Okay, who discovered new sea route to India? Vasco da Gama. Why did he discover? There are several reasons. They wanted raw materials to run their industries in Portugal country. They wanted to spread their religions in the eastern countries. And next, they wanted to spices items from India. These are all the reasons to provoke new sea route to India. Okay, and next the Portuguese. Okay, next, in fact, Vasco da Gama. Who was Vasco da Gama? One more question. A Portuguese explorer. Who was Vasco da Gama? A Portuguese explorer who had discovered this sea route to India in 1490. Who was the first Europeans who came to India? Portuguese. Who discovered new sea route to India? Vasco da Gama. When did he discover? 1498. Who was Vasco da Gama? A Portuguese explorer. And next, by the early 17th century, the Dutch too were exploring the possibilities of trade in the Indian Ocean. Soon the French traders arrived on the scene. This is one of the scene in India. This is the Chitrana. Here, 4 Europeans who came to India: Portuguese, Dutch, English and French. Next, Dutch too were 1596. In the year of 1596, the Dutch, third one is, actually second one is the Dutch. The first one is the Portuguese, the second one is the Dutch, the second one is Dutch, second one is Dutch, 1596, and next they established their Dutch East India Company 1602. 1602. When did they leave from India? They leave from India 1825. 1825. Okay, their capital city Machilipattanam. Their capital city Machilipattanam. Their capital city Machilipattanam. Okay. The Dutch too were exploring the possibilities of trade in the Indian Ocean. They also wanted spices items from India. They wanted also first they wanted also spread their religions in India. Okay, who are Dutch? The Dutch presently they can be called as a Holland and Netherlands countries are called as Dutch. Okay, Holland and Netherlands they were called as a Dutch who came to India, and next to finally the Dutch limited themselves to the spices island of Indonesia. Andre they unable to competition from the English and French. In the year of 1825 they left from India. Next, the third one who came to India? The English. English. When did they come to India? 1599. When did they establish their East India Company? 1600. Okay, na? When did they leave from India? 1947. 1947. Their capital city Calcutta. Okay, their capital city Calcutta. Okay, next this is one of the biggest story. The English 1664 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1600 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ತಾಂತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 1609 the royal ambassador of James I, William Hawkins, who came to the court of William Hawkins, James I, royal ambassador of James I, who came at the court of Jahangir 1509. ಯಾಕೆ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ತಾನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ he did not give the permission. He did not provide the permission. ಯಾರು? ಜಹಾಂಗೀರ್ ಕಿಂಗು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 1515 ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸರಿ 1615 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗೇನ್ he came to another one ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರು? ಅವನೇ 1615 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಥಾಮಸ್ ರೋ, ರಾಯಲ್ ಅಂಬಾಸಿಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೇಮ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್, who came at the court of Jahangir. He had given the permission to trade in the Mughal areas. During this time, India was ruled by Mughal. Akbar, next Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Okay, here on next to 1639. 1639. Here is the Karnataka India map. 1639. They established the first province in Madras. 1662. Second province Bombay. Next 1699. Third province Calcutta. Let us discuss one by one. This is the story of English. And next the last here is that they have given. Soon the French traders arrived on this scene. Which scene? Already the Portuguese who came to power, the four Europeans who came to India, the French. Those who are French, the French, when did they come to India? 1664, but they established their East India Company 1668. When did they leave from India? French left from India 1954. Okay, when did they come to India? The French came to India 1664. And next their East India Company was established in 1668. They left from India in the year 1954. Okay, their capital city was Pondicherry. Their capital city was Pondicherry. Here is the four Europeans who came to India. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಿಗ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಇದೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಫರ್ದರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೂ who are the first European? Just you have to remember P D E F. P D E F. Okay, P D F, which means Portuguese, Dutch, English and French. Okay, na? Here is the chronological order of Europeans who came to India. The first two Europeans, the Portuguese. The first European, Portuguese. When did they come to India? 1498. When did they leave from India? 1961. What was the capital city of Portuguese? Goa. Next, the second Europeans, the Dutch. D. 1596 they came. 1602 they established their East India Company. 1825 they left from India. Their capital city Machilipattanam. Next, third English they came to India. They established. When did they come to India? 1599. When did they establish their East India Company? 1600. When did they leave from India? 1947. Their capital city Calcutta. Next, the fourth one is the French. When did they come to India? 1664. When did they establish their East India Company? 1668. When did they leave from India? 1924. Their capital city Pondicherry. P D E F. Okay, P D F. Okay, the Portuguese, which was led by Vasco da Gama. Portuguese was led by Vasco da Gama. The Dutch was led by William. The Dutch led by Cornelis Hartmann. The English, which was led by William. The English, which was led by William Hawkins. Sorry, William Wilden Hall. William Wilden Hall. And next, the Dutch, which was led by Dutch Cornelis Hartmann. And next, English, John Wilden Hall. French was led by Francisco Kerem. French was led by Francisco Kerem. Here is this concept. Next, the problem was that hall. The problem was that hall. Next para. The problem was that all companies were interested in buying the same things. All they were the Portuguese, either the Portuguese or the Dutch or the English or the French. All these companies' problems were same problems. What was the problem? What was the problem were faced by the Europeans? Interested in buying the same things. Interested in buying the same thing. What were the same things? Interested in buying same things. Interested in buying same things. The fine qualities of cotton. What were the things they had to buy? They had to buy. One is cotton. The first one is cotton, and next to silk. Cotton and silk. Cotton and silk produced in India had a big market in India. Cotton and silk were produced in India. There was a big market in Europe. They wanted to buy these goods from India very less prices, and next to they sold out in European countries very high prices. By this way they were getting highest profitable. They were getting very highest profitable. And next, produced in India and a big market in Europe. And next, the spices items, pepper. Same things. Another one thing is pepper. Next, cardamom. Next, cloves. Next one is cinnamon. What were the things that had great demand in European market? There are two things. The first one is commodities, cotton and silk. Second one is pepper. Which were the spices item great demanded in European market? Pepper, which means ಮೆಣಸು. ನೋಡಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಮನೇಲಿ ಪೆಪ್ಪರ್ ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ಮೆಣಸು ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. And next one is close which means lavanga, and next one is cardamom which means elakki. Next cinnamon which means dalchini anteli barutte, means yaudru tara andre ಚಕ್ಕೆ ತರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ. which were the spices item great demanded in European market? Pepper, cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, ಓಕೆನಾ. These are the great demanded in European market. Two were in great demand. Competition amongst the European companies inevitable pushed up the prices at which these goods could be purchased. The competition which was started among the European companies. Who are the European companies? The Portuguese, the Dutch, the English, French. There was a competition which was starting among themselves. Avara madhye competition start aaytu. Yadakke? For buying the goods. This competition pushed the prices at which these goods would be purchased. ಏನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಆಲ್ ದ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ಸ್ who were purchasing the goods from India, whatever the goods which can be which could be cotton, silk, pepper, cardamom, cloves and cinnamon. When the competition which was started among these Europeans, this price level high rates ಏನೋ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು, ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. and next the prices which these goods could be purchased, and this reduced the profits. If the prices increased, it cannot be given any profit. Raw materials ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಡಿಮೆ ರೇಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಏನೂ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. that could be earned or earn ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ that could be earned, it was no profit, reduced the profit. okay, one question, which consequence reduced the profits that could be earned? Which consequence reduced the profits that could be earned? The first one is European companies inevitably pushed the prices at which these goods could be purchased, and this reduced the profits that could be earned. okay, and next, the only way the trading companies could flourish was by eliminating rival competitors. They wanted to eliminate andre ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. They wanted to drive out from the other Europeans from India in order to gain the wealth, in order to gain the profit. The only way trading company could flourish was by eliminating rival companies, which means if there is a for an example English, they wanted to drive out the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French from India. This is the one of the only way to get their supremacy over the India. And next, flourished eliminating rival competitions. The urge to secure markets therefore led to the fierce battles between the trading companies. Fierce battles between the companies, which could be English and French. The fierce battle which could be taken place between English and French, English and Portuguese, English and Dutch. Why? Because they wanted to supremacy over the India. They wanted to earn more in India. They wanted to establish their strongest power over the India. The urge to secure markets therefore led to the fierce battle between the trading companies. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸುಪ್ರಿಮಸಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಅಂದರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಪವರನ್ನು ಡೊಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರಿದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸಿ, the driven out from India, this policy, fierce battle between the trading companies through the 7th and 18th centuries. There were number of battles. Battle of Plassey is 1757, Battle of Buxar 1764, First Carnatic War 1746 to 48, Second Carnatic War 1749 to 1756, Third Carnatic War 1758 to 1763, These are all the battles which often were taking place between the British and Dutch, British and French, British and local Nawab. Okay, next, they regularly sank each other's ships. Point number 1. What were they making to drive off from India? What were the strategies that used among themselves? The point number 1, they regularly sank each other's ships. In the ships were going on the Indian Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. They regularly sank each other's ships. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ರು ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಳುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕೆಟೆಡ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್. ರೂಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ಡ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಬ್ಲಾಕೆಟೆಡ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟೆಡ್ ರೈವಲ್ ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟೆಡ್ ರೈವಲ್ ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎದುರಾಳಿಗರ ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟೆಡ್, ತಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Third point is prevented rival ships from moving with supplies of goods. Next point, trade was carried on with arms. Always on the ocean of Indian Ocean and Atlantic Ocean, trade was carried along with the arms. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. And trading posts were protected through fortification. If there is a trading post, ಇದೊಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅವರ trading post. Example, the British trading center is Surat. In this Surat, around this city, they made fortification. Which means they built fort they built fort around this city, around this trading post were protected through fortification. Trading posts, these posts were protected through fortification. Okay, what were the strategies they used? The first one is they regularly sank each other's ships, blockaded routes, prevented rival ships from moving with supplies of goods, trade was carried on with arms, trading posts were protected through fortification. Okay, next, this effort to fortify settlements and carry on profitable trade also led to intense conflict with local rulers. This fortification andre means ಕೋಟೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟೋದು without the permission of local rulers. The India which was ruled by many local rulers. Here is in India which was ruled by many local rulers. The Mughal, they made subas, which means here in the state we can call as a state. Subas can be called as a states. There were number of subas, 21 subas were there. The West Bengal was one of Suba, Karnataka one of the Suba, Mysore one of the Suba, Maratha Suba, and next to Sikh Suba. These are all the Subas were there. Without the permission of local Nawabs, kings, rulers, the British, they made fortification. Here they have only given only for English. Already the French, the Dutch, the Dutch, Portuguese, they weakened. Okay, and next, the effort to fortify settlements and carry on profitable trade also led to intense conflict with local rulers. What was the reason led to intense conflict with the local rulers? Fortification which was made by the British. What was the reason led to intense conflict with local rulers? Fortification was led by English. The company therefore found it difficult to separate trade from politics. The company found it difficult to separate trade from politics. Let us see how this happened. East India Company begins trade in Bengal. How did they establish control over the Bengal? Okay, here the first English factory was set up on the banks of river Hooghly in 1651. Here is the West Bengal, Odisha, Bihar and West Bengal. This province which was called as Bengal province. The first, there was a Hooghly river which flows in this area. On the banks river of Hooghly, already British, in this time 1651, British already they made the first province Madras, and next they would be made second province 1662, that is called as Bombay. That was called as Bombay. This was the base from which companies traders River Hooghly in 1651. Okay. Which was the first factory of English in India? Where was it started? It was set up on the banks of the River Hooghly in 1651. When was the first factory started of English? 1651. Where was it started? On the banks of the River Hooghly. This was the base from which companies traders. This is the base. When did they start? After they extended their trade centers across the India and known at that time as factors operated. The company's traders known at that time as factors operated. The factory had, what is factory? Now we can call as a factory. What is factory? It was called as factors. The factory had a warehouse where company officials, the factory had a warehouse where goods for export were stored. Okay, the factory, this is one of the warehouse. This is one of the warehouse. The factory had a warehouse where goods for export were stored. Export ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಅವರ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗಳು, ದೇರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ದೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ it was called as warehouses where goods for export was stored, and also it had officers where company officials sat. Here company officials sat. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ? ದ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎ ವೇರ್ಹೌಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್ and it had officers where company officials sat. As trade expanded, the trade was expanded by defeating many local rulers, by entering many battles. The company persuaded merchants and traders to come and settle near the factory. Persuaded means conveyed. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರನ್ನು ಮನವೊಲಿಸಿದ್ರು ಕಂಪನಿ. ಯಾರನ್ನ? The merchants and traders to come and settle near the factory. By 1696. Settle near the factory. 1696 it began building a port around the settlement. Okay. In the year of 1696, the Portuguese Governor General, Charles, ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸ್, ಸಾರಿ. ದ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್, ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ದೇ ಮೇಕ್? 1696 they purchased 3 villages, Satanati, Govindapura and Kalikata, on the banks river of Hooghly. Purchased 3 villages, namely Satanati, Govindapura and Kalikata. Okay, and after 2 years began building port around the settlement. 1699 they built around the Kalikata one port that was called as St. William Port. One city grew up around this Port William that was called as Calcutta. Presently it was called as Calcutta. Okay, next it began building port around the settlement. 2 years later it bribed Mughal officials into giving the company Jamindar rights over 3 villages. One of these was Kalikata. The company bribed which means lancha kotru Mughal officials to giving the company Jamindar rights. Why did they give bribe to Mughal officials? Giving the company Jamindar rights over 3 villages. Giving the rights over 3 villages. Which were the 3 villages? Satanati, Govindapura and Kalikata. Among these was Kalikata, which later grew into the city of Calcutta or Kolkata as it is known today. As it known today. Okay. How was Calcutta grew up? How was Kolkata grew up? One marks question. The English bribed Mughal officials into giving the company Jamindar rights over the 3 villages. One of these was Calicut. No, Calicut grew into city of Calcutta or Calcutta as it known today. It also pursued the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue a farman granting the company the right to trade duty free. The right to trade duty free. How was Calcutta grew up? You know that. How was Calcutta grown up? The English bribed Mughal officials into giving the company Jamindar rights over 3 villages. One of these, Calcutta, which later grew into the city of Kolkata. Kolkata now it is known as today. And ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮನವೊಲಿಸಿದ್ರು. One they had taken 3 villages, Satanati, Govindapura and Kalikata. They made their capital city. And second they conveyed the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue a farman. What is farman? A royal edict or royal order. Free tax, without tax they could do the business. They could make a business in the Bengal areas, which was given by Aurangzeb. Who had given farman? The farman was given by Aurangzeb, the Mughal last powerful emperor. Okay, Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue a farman granting the company to trade the right to trade duty free. Duty free, which means without tax. The English, they make business without tax. The farman was given to English by the Aurangzeb. Okay, here next the company tried to continuously to press for more consciousness and manipulate exiting privileges. Idanna by using of this farman, the company tried continuously to press for more consciousness, which means discount anna kelak start ಮಾಡ್ತು, manipulate exiting privileges. What was the exiting privileges? The farman which means free trade, which means Diwani right, free trade without paying tax. They could do free trade in the Bengal areas. Aurangzeb farman for intense had granted only the company the right to trade duty free. The Aurangzeb had given only for company, East India Company, but on the other hand, had granted only the company the right to trade duty free. ಇದನ್ನ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್? Official of the company, which means officers of the company who were carrying on private trade on the side. ಆ ಫರ್ಮಾನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಫರ್ಮಾನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಇವರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಅವರು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ದೇ ಹರ್ನ್ ದ ಮನಿ, ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. were expected to pay duty. They wanted to pay duty. Tax ಅನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ here is the, it was ruled by local Nawabs, Alivardi Khan Nawabs. They expected to pay duty. This they refused to pay. The company official, I have a farman. Why do I want pay tax to the Nawab? The East India Company officials. The farman which was given to only for East India Company, but they misused this farman. Who? East India Company officials. On the other hand, they started private trade. This was a lot of losses the treasury of the Nawab of Bengal. He was angered. This incident was angered by the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, this they refused to pay. When the British refused to pay, causing an enormous loss of revenue for Bengal. Bengal revenue ballast enormous loss ಆಗಿತ್ತು. The Nawab of Bengal, Murshid Quli Khan, he protested the British. It led to the start of Battle of Plassey. Is grandson Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay, here is the what we have discussed today. The first one is the 4 European companies who came to India. How did they fight against? How did they fight among themselves? And next, what was factory? And next, how did the British gain Farman from the Aurangzeb? Who had given Farman to the British? Aurangzeb, which was given by Aurangzeb. And next, how did they misuse Farman? Farman was misused by East India Company officials. They were trading on the other side privately. It was a lot of losses to the revenue of the Bengal. It led to the fierce battle such as Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar. Let us discuss in the next class. Thank you.